was interviewed on National Public Radio, WQLN, with Kim Young, and so many of you know her story. She says she doesn't want to tell it over and over, but I'll tell you, it's worth telling.
Thank you, Steve. Firstly, I really want to thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and standing in solidarity to say no to Proposition 8 with a resounding yes to same-sex marriage. I find this almost surreal to be here, gathered together to give vocal support to same-sex marriage, an idea my partner Charlene Tanner and I would have never dared to dream. In fact, we had not even dared to disclose our relationship to family, straight friends, or co-workers. How could we have dreamed of marriage when we quietly submitted to silence? And it was not until the occasion of her death that I publicly disclosed our relationship in her obituary as her loving partner of 35 years. How could we have dreamed of marriage when we were silent and quietly submitted to discrimination? I never became vocal about gay and lesbian rights until after my partner's death, when I was informed of having to pay a 15% inheritance tax on half of all of our joint assets, including the contents of our home. At that time, I had only hoped and dreamed of changing the burden of inheritance taxes that same-sex couples face, but I had never dreamed of marriage. I am now 70 years old, and until 3.5 years ago, I did not give voice to the inequality and lack of dignity that we as gays and lesbians endure. And although this issue no longer affects me, it does affect thousands upon thousands of same-sex couples who deserve the right to come out and give voice to their heart's desire. Same-sex marriage must be reinstated in California, and same-sex marriage must be a constitutional right of all Americans, not just Americans in Massachusetts and Connecticut. How has this happened in America? How do we allow a suppressed citizenry in a self-declared free country? We are all Americans. We are you, rich, poor, black, white, men, women, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters. We are just people with the same desires and aspirations. We are you. Martin Luther King had expressed in his dream that he hoped one day a person would be measured by the content of his character and not his color. And I reiterate that dream and hope that we too can be measured by the content of our character and not our sexual orientation. We are all Americans, and we gays and lesbians deserve the same rights married persons of the opposite sex enjoy, including marriage itself.